Hello, welcome to my channel. Before proceeding to study, please subscribe to my channel. Today, we will explore the fascinating world of basic electrical and electronics engineering. We'll dive into key concepts like guidelines for Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law, superposition theorem. Slide 1. Ohm's law. We begin with Ohm's law, which is the most basic and important principle in electrical engineering. It explains the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance in a circuit. Ohm's law states that the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the voltage across it and inversely proportional to the resistance of the conductor, provided the temperature remains constant. Mathematically, it is written as V equals I multiplied by R, where V stands for voltage, measured in volts. I stands for current, measured in amperes. R stands for resistance, measured in ohms. Let's take a simple example. If you have a 10-volt battery connected to a resistor of 5 ohms, using the formula, current I equals 10 divided by 5, which is 2 amperes. This law is applicable only to ohmic materials, which are those that obey Ohm's law. These include metals like copper and aluminum. It is not valid for semiconductors or devices like diodes and transistors, which are non-ohmic. Another important point is that the voltage-current graph for a material obeying Ohm's law is a straight line, which means the resistance is constant and independent of voltage or current, as long as the temperature does not change. The significance of Ohm's law is that it allows us to calculate any one of the three parameters, V, I, R, if the other two are known, which makes it extremely useful in circuit analysis. Slide 2. Kirchhoff's laws. Next, we move on to Kirchhoff's laws, which are used to analyze more complex circuits where multiple loops or junctions are present. There are two laws. 1. Kirchhoff's current law, KCL, it states that the algebraic sum of currents entering a junction is equal to 0. This means that current entering a node must be equal to current leaving it. This law is based on the law of conservation of electric charge. 2. Kirchhoff's voltage law, KVL, it states that the algebraic sum of all voltages around a closed loop is equal to 0. This follows the law of conservation of energy. As current flows around a loop, the total voltage gains and drops must cancel out. For example, suppose you have a loop with a battery of 12 volts and two resistors dropping 5 and 7 volts respectively. According to KVL, plus 12 minus 5 minus 7 equals 0, satisfying the law. KCL and KVL are extremely useful when solving multiloop or mesh circuits. They help in writing equations to find unknown currents and voltages in the circuit. One more key thing, KCL is used at junctions, nodes, while KVL is used in loops, closed paths. Slide 3. Superposition theorem. Now let's look at the superposition theorem, which is a technique used to simplify the analysis of circuits that have more than one independent source. The theorem states that in a linear circuit with multiple sources, the total current or voltage across an element is equal to the sum of the currents or voltages caused by each source acting independently, while all other independent sources are replaced by their internal resistances. When we consider one source at a time, we replace other voltage sources with short circuits, or wire, because an ideal voltage source has zero internal resistance. We replace current sources with open circuits, no connection, because an ideal current source has infinite internal resistance. Let's take an example. Suppose you have two voltage sources and one resistor. First, calculate the voltage across the resistor due to the first source by replacing the second with a short circuit. Then, calculate the voltage due to the second source by replacing the first one. Finally, add the two voltages to get the total result. A few conditions to remember. The circuit must be linear, that means the parameters like resistance, voltage, and current follow linear relationships. This method is not suitable for calculating power, Because power is not linear, P equals I squared times R or V squared divided by R. The superposition theorem is widely used in AC and DC analysis where more than one source is present. Slide 4. Differences, Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's laws, superposition theorem. Now, let's compare the three concepts to understand how they are different in purpose and application. 1. Ohm's law is a basic law that defines the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance in a single element. 2. Kirchhoff's laws are used for analyzing entire circuits, KCL for junctions and KVL for loops. 3. Superposition theorem is a method used to analyze circuits with more than one source, by considering one source at a time. Another way to understand is that Ohm's law gives you the formula for one resistor. KCL and KVL allow you to write equations for the whole circuit. And superposition helps break down a complex problem with multiple sources into simpler parts. A key difference is that superposition works only in linear networks, and it requires you to solve the same circuit multiple times, each with one source active. Kirchhoff's laws are based on fundamental conservation laws, while superposition is a calculation method. So, while all three are tools for circuit analysis, they apply in different ways depending on the circuit's complexity and the number of sources.